good. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Book, all right?
Less music.
Alright. So I'm going to read it to you from one of my favorite novels. It's called Surf and Sex.
Yeah!
Written by the now famous, you might remember his name, Martin Daniel. Now a very well-respected author, but back in the day, he didn't get the appreciation that he deserved. And I'd like to help you give him the appreciation that he deserves. By thank you, Billy. It's in my teeth, but that's alright. So the story of this novel, you guys can sit down if you want, have a seat, do whatever you want. Have a beer, smoke a cigarette, smoke a Black and Mild. Give me a beer. Go ahead, sit down. This is going to take at least an hour and a half. Is it high enough? It's high enough. The question is, are you guys high enough? Yeah, because that's what's happening. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, God. Can I have a sip of that? Oh, yeah. Alright, here goes. This is chapter 6. The story behind this particular novel, it's about a group of friends. Well, I'll just read the back for you. Cindy's always been eager to be accepted into the Surfers Club, even though the initiation's pretty hot. Thank you. This is chapter 6, it's called Friends at Camp. Chapter 6, Friends at Camp. Andrea's dad had complained about the way... Hello? Hey, I'm playing a set right now. Hello? I can't hear you. Okay, bye. That was my hot girl on the side. Chapter 6, Friends at Camp. Andrea's dad had complained about the way the beer disappeared when Andrea's friends were around. But he hadn't sounded really pissed, so Andrea hardly thought about taking a 12-pack for the weekend campout. Ted's dad didn't drink beer or anything else, but Ted had money of his own and a fake ID. He bought a case. It would have been quicker if the kids had set up the tent before the first 12-pack, but Ted thought it was more fun this way, especially since it was Andrea who got tangled in the ropes. Andrea struggled free and opened the case. Want one? Please. Andrea flipped him a beer and asked, "What do you think about Cindy's club?" "I think public sex is scary." Me too. Cindy's always been goofy, but Scott Tander told me he might join. Jesus, Erica would have a cow. I wonder, Andrea said. I've always thought she was pretty much of a les. I thought she was coming on to me a couple of times. Ted laughed. Bet I could make her come. Bet I could make her come. You think you can make anybody come. I can if they're normal. I'm kind of messed up in my brain with all this beer, Andrea said. I think I'll crash. What a baby. What? You just gonna sit out here and finish your case? Just a couple other cans, Ted said. I'll see you in the morning. For just a minute before she slept, Andrea wondered why her relationship with Ted had always been platonic. They'd been friends for so long, her parents hadn't even blinked when she told them she and Ted were going camping together. One time, she'd overheard her mother tell her father, "I wish Andrea would show more interest in Ted." "I don't see how she could," her dad had said. "They're together constantly like it is." "You know what I mean, George. I like Ted's interest just the way it is, nice and clean." But there was nothing clean about Andrea's response when she felt Ted shaking her awake. "What the fuck?" Andrea muttered. Sorry. "What the fuck?" Andrea muttered. "I pissed my sleeping bag." Sorry. "I pissed my sleeping bag." "You don't have to whisper. There's nobody for miles," Andrea said. "You did what?" "I pissed my sleeping bag. It's wet." Andrea doubled up laughing, so Ted slugged her shoulder. What's so funny? Andrea wheezed. You are. Biggest stud around. All league end. Every girl's fantasy. And you piss yourself like some little kid. It's not funny. I'm wet. Most people that piss themselves get wet. And I'm cold, Ted said. Get back in your sleeping bag. It's wet and cold too. Your bag's big enough for the both of us.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know! Andrea slid her hand up her friend's leg. Your shorts are soaked. I can take them off, please?
Yeah.
Sure. You've got goosebumps bigger than my tits. Andrea and Ted lay on their sides facing each other. Don't breathe on me, Andrea said. You smell like beer. Turn over then and you won't smell me. Not likely. You'd probably try to shove that boner you've got right up my cunt. How do you know I've got a boner? Ted asked. Can I just take a second while the music's not playing to warn you that this is very graphic? You'd probably try to shove that boner you've got right up my cunt. How do you know I've got a boner? There we go, thank you. How do you know I've got a boner? Ted asked. Something keeps poking my leg and it isn't your finger. Stop shivering like that, Andrea. You trying to get me off? I'm getting cold lying next to you, and you're plenty cold yourself. Your teeth are chattering. Sounds like castanets. I'm fucking freezing. Move in closer then, Andrea said. I still got my boner. Yeah, but it's a warm boner. Now move over next to me. Now move over next to me or go back to your own sleeping bag. Sliding next to Andrea, Ted flinched when Andrea slid her arms through Ted's and rubbed his back. That's definitely different. Oh, sorry. That's definitely different, having your cock between my legs, Andrea said. If you don't stop shaking like that, you'll have my jism between your legs. Do you have to rub my back like that? Ted asked. You're getting pretty close to my butt. It's warming you up. You aren't shaking so much. Tired of arguing, Ted relaxed as Andrea's hands moved lower. But when Andrea started sliding her pussy against Ted's leg and breathing in Ted's ear, he couldn't ignore it anymore. Just what exactly do you think you're doing? Ted asked. It feels so good rubbing on you like this, Andrea said. I didn't realize how horny I was. Can I lie on top of you? You fucking cannot lie on top of me. Go outside and finger yourself if you're that horny. What the hell is wrong with you? You don't want to do anything with me, Andrea said. I'm not exactly homely. Ted muttered, you're one of the best looking girls at school. Then what's your problem? Nothing else with a hole between your legs is safe anywhere near you. I like you too much, Ted asked. Huh? For me, sex is like a sneeze. I do it and it feels good. But the way I feel about you goes a lot farther than that. Because for me, sex is like a sneeze. I feel the same way about you too, Teddy. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy each other's bodies too. I enjoy your body too much. If you don't get away from me, my dick will show you how much I enjoy your body. Andrea said, no way. It's my sleeping bag. You don't like it? Go back to your own. That wasn't practical, so Ted rolled with his back to Andrea to escape the rubbing of Andrea's pussy against his cock. Andrea moved in behind him and Ted could feel her wetness slicking his back. God damn it, you're fucking me and it ought to... Oh, sorry. God damn it, you're fucking me and it ought to be the other way around. I am not. I'm rubbing my puss against you. It's different. Puss. Puss. I can't sleep with you doing that. Andrea reached in front of Ted and felt Ted's cock. You're hard too, and just as wet as I am. That feels good even if you are my friend, Ted said. You think this is the kind of stuff Cindy and members do in their clubhouse? Yeah, but I think they fucking suck each other too. I wonder what it would be like to get sucked by Scott's girlfriend, Erica. Andrea laughed. I think I have a better chance of finding out than you do. I'd like to find out, though. You like getting blown? Andrea asked. Yeah, almost as much as I like fucking. Geez, Andrea, you're jacking me off really good. Andrea stopped jacking long enough to explore Ted's prick. Ted was long and thick. Andrea had talked to several girls who'd said that Ted was the biggest thing they'd ever felt inside their pussies. Feeling Ted's cock more carefully, Andrea decided that the most unusual thing about it, at least compared to the other guys she'd seen, was that Ted's prick was as big— Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Feeling Ted's cock more carefully, Andrea decided it was the most unusual thing about it, at least compared to the other guys she'd seen, was that Ted's prick was as big around all the way as it was at the head. It had hardly any ridge to it at all. That sounds great.
Yeah.
One girl had described Ted's cock as great. Andrea shuddered when she considered the great things it could do to her pussy. Judging by the way Ted was breathing, it wasn't going to take much more to finish him off. Andrea went back to sliding her hand against Ted's cock. Ted asked, Andrea? Yeah? Would it bother— Thank you. Would it bother you if— well, I mean, I'm really close. Would you finish me off with your mouth? I guess not. I mean, I guess it wouldn't bother me, Andrea said. But I can't get low enough in the sleeping bag. Ted flipped over facing Andrea and moved ahead so that his head and chest were out of the bag. Hurry, please. It's cold. Andrea had a bitch of a time getting Ted's meat into her mouth without snagging it with her teeth. She couldn't even work her tongue around it to get it coated with spit. Ted was closer than Andrea had thought. He moved his hips back and forth a couple of times and fired. Andrea panicked. Ted's semen was filling her mouth and his cock was so large it was making it difficult to breathe through her nose. She gasped once and got a little air, but the second time nothing came through, and still Ted kept shooting into her throat. Andrea pushed Ted's hips away from her face. Ted didn't budge when Andrea pushed a second time. She backed Ted's cock out enough so that she could swallow Ted's cream and drag enough oxygen into her lungs to survive.
Yeah.
It took Andrea longer to recover from Ted's climax than it did Ted. She asked, You really jizzed, buddy. How did it feel? A spectacular. Best blowjob I ever had. But wait, it's not over, because then she says, You help me get off now? Sure. What do you want me to do? Hold me tight while I masturbate. It won't take long. Ted held her close enough that she could smell the beer and semen mixed with his sweat. Gently he felt of her clit. Squeezing just enough for maximum stimulation and minimum pain, Ted moved Andrea towards climax. I'm getting close, Ted. I'm close, Andrea grunted. I'm coming! Ted shoved his finger deep inside her pussy while she climaxed. Fingering the smooth folds of her labia, he led her through orgasm the same way her mouth had led him. Andrea rolled off of Ted and grabbed his t-shirt. It took a while to clean both of them off. Ted laughed. If Cindy's club works like this, no wonder she's got so many members. Are you gonna join? Why not? As long as I can fuck you too. Andrea shook her head. I guess I will too then. See you in the morning. The end.
Yeah!
Okay, so now there's...
Thank you, that was touching.